सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Up until the third mantra, there was a certain pattern of thought given. That in the first mantra, the absolute truth in its most simplistic, direct format was given. The second mantra talks about if that first mantra is not taking to the core which it is indicating, because it is that direct, then we have to focus on where exactly we are. That means we are not there at that point to directly grasp, assimilate and abide in. Thereby, the second mantra says, Kurvaneveha. Intensely perform every single unfolding experience with the attitude of Karma Yoga Siddhanta. Then, as a marker, indicator or a warning to those that don't fall in the first one or the second one. So for them, it says this will be like asuryanamate lokaha. It becomes that kind of a world of experience where there is no sun shining, there is no illumination, there is no brightness or knowledge. So they get trapped in the karma bandha, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi whichever species, janani jatare shayanu. I just have to put that one sentence there. Then the first mantra is expounded upon. Whatever is pointed in the first mantra, Ishavasya sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat, that is further expanded and expounded upon. Anejadekam manasojaviyo, the self within is the very all-pervasive principle. And this self, though supports all kind of motions, all kinds of movements, it remains unmoved. There is no movement in it. See, for a movement to happen, there has to be some space other than me. You see the local auto rickshaws, there are two kinds, right? One you hire and you alone sit. One is shared ride. Once it is a shared ride, it is upon his ingenious knack to tussify as many as possible. You think there is no space, he'll create space. Because in his head, space is there, ample space is there. Unless there is space, you cannot insert one more. If there is nothing other than this pure conscious principle, when we say advitiya, advaya, one without a second. See, that wording itself is so beautiful. Advaya. It is not better than the best. None of the comparatives are given. There is nothing to compare. Therefore, one is not stopping with one. That alone. You think one without a second. When there is nothing other than that self, that pure conscious principle alone, that Chaitanya Tattva, where is the need to spread? Where is the need to, there is nothing other than it. So, anejat, it stays without any ejati movement. But yet, from our perspective, whatever we see as multitude is present in that multitude effortlessly. Now, this one concept is clearer as we listen to it when we understand these standpoints. Reference to context. RTC. Reference to context. Which standpoint are you talking from? Which standpoint is this pointing towards? The same principle from the Advaya Tattva, one without a second, Anejat. There is no scope for movement. Because there is nothing other than it to move into. Though the borders are arbitrary, before 1951, China was thousands of kilometers away. If not thousands, at least 1,000 kilometers away. Now it is sitting right on the border. There is something other than it wants to occupy, and we become a little less alert. It starts claiming, renaming the places according to its own nomenclature. Why? There is something other than. Therefore, Guruji's statement I can repeat as many times. We don't believe in a system where we say God also exists. We believe in the system wherein we say He alone exists. What is the extension of that statement? Anything that which is seen as other than that divine doesn't exist. Period. Anejadekam manaso javiyaha. And in the next mantra, he consolidates that thought. Tadejati, tannaijati, taddure, tadvantike. Meaning it is all pervading. This tattva, when understood, how should it be understood? I am divine is not the concept. I, the divine, alone is that which I see, which that I perceive. Meaning, they may be names and forms, but in and through all the names and forms, I alone exist. How can this be possible? Now, in the dream world, it is my mind that projects, and it is not right to say that the dream is sukhanubhuti or dukkhanubhuti. Why? The one who is experiencing and the one who is giving the experience and the medium of experience, interaction, all of it is nothing but the mind alone. To that dream, that mind becomes associated with that mind. This jiva becomes the Ishvara. So then, in the dream, you are being chased by the tiger. And you fall, you trip, and there's no other way to escape. You turn around, the tiger is like upon you, and you have a very strong samskara. So in the dream also it reflects. You're chanting. Born out of the same samskara is the tiger. So the tiger will also say, Brahmarpanam, Brahma Vidi, Brahmagno, Brahmana Uttam. It is an experience. I cannot say that it was a good experience or the bad experience, because the good, bad, ugly, horrifying, indifferent, everything is nothing but that mind alone. Other than the mind, there exists nothing. In and through all the material, all the living, all the different interactions, this is the mind. Similarly, from the standpoint of Ishvara, there is nothing but that conscious principle alone. Na tato vijugupsate. Therefore, there is no disgust, there is no hatred, there is no dislike. See, when we were young, I am sure this question must have crossed all of our minds, and we must have been given a similar pattern of answer. Whenever we inadvertently gave something with our left hand, so we were told the other hand. And why? That is the dirty hand. Have we been told that? It's only later we understand the aspect of the right and left of organs functioning through the right and left of the hemispheres of the brain. So the logical brain is on the left side. Therefore, do everything that which is suited with logic with your right. Otherwise, the reaction is, I thoroughly wash. It is not dirty. Because what is the reaction coming from? The reaction is that right or left, it is me. How can one become dirty? That which is assumed as dirty or that which is assumed as good, both are perspectives of the same thing. Others may hate that it is dirty hand. I don't. It is me alone. There is no specific, up until certain age maybe, specific thing wherein we say, I like my right eye better than the left eye, or the left eye better than the right eye. What I like is the vision that I get through both. The depth of experience that I get through both. Why I said up until certain age, there are certain things that start, what do you call it, cataract, and various other aberrations. Up until then, the vision is what is important. There is no special liking for right or left. Because through both, it is me alone that expresses. Similarly, from the highest standpoint, this Chaitanya Tattva is divine, and it is the same divinity that which is being the substratum supporting the entire multitude. See this creation as something other than the divine, then it is Jiva Srishti. See it as divine, then it is Ishvara Srishti. See it something other than that divine, then it becomes entrapped in Maya. Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Karma, all of this start enveloping. See it as that indivisible aspect of that Ishvara alone, then you are Mayatita. Maya may exist, but you are now Atita, beyond the impact of that Maya. Therefore, when you see that oneness, in oneness there is no feeling of disgust, feeling of that hatred, looking down upon something. When I say looking down upon something, I am not talking about height disparity. I am talking about the attitude that something is beneath me, something is low. There is nothing low, nothing high. It just is, and if it is, it has to be divine alone. So the sadhana should be, if I am not able to perceive that divine, find it. Contemplate. In fact, the ugliness and the disgustfulness is only when I see it through the layers of the lenses of vasanas. Beyond that, when I see, it has to be nothing but divine. I stated the problem and I also said the solution. If I am seeing something that is disgust-worthy, hatred-worthy, that means it is being perceived through the layers of vasanas. Now continuing. Seventh mantra, page Dakshina 116. Yasmin sarvani bhutani Atmaiva bhutvijanatah Tatra ko mohaka shokah Ekatvam anupashyatah Yasmin sarvani bhutani Atma eva bhut vijanatah. We come to this firm understanding, abiding in which my experience is Sarvani bhutani atma eva. All these different nomenclatures of names and forms are nothing but my own self alone. Once this understanding has happened, where can there be moha, and thereby where can be shoka? So let us do reverse engineering. What is reverse engineering? In order to understand the divine, it is reverse engineering. What is reverse engineering? Where is our disturbance, agitation, irritation, frustration? All of these are different packages of shoka, different intensities of shoka. If there is shoka, I am missing, I am craving, I desire for, all of these are also aberrations. Now, wherever this shoka is seen, or whenever in our experience we see this shoka, what does it mean? It has been caused by moha. Nothing more brutal, honest truth than that. Whenever this moha becomes vyamoha, pervading, pervasive, at every other step, all that I experience is nothing but shoka. Therefore, I see life as a burden. My field of interaction as burdensome, as pain. So this person went to the doctor and said, I don't know, doctor, my entire body is aching. Any part that I touch, it is aching. So the doctor touched every limb and this is amazing, doctor. When you are touching, there is no pain. And then finally the doctor touched the finger with which he was touching everything. That was broken. And when that is broken, and with a broken thing that you touch anything, it will be painful. And why is everything so painful? Why has Bhagavan created such a miserable world? Now, Bhagavan has not created a miserable world, it cannot be. He's been so compassionate in his creation and the logic behind that even the instrument through which I experience the entire creation has been created out of Shuddha Sattva. Go back to your Tattva Bodha where it talks about the Panchikarana, and after the Panchikarana, the Rajasic, the Tamasic, Rajasic and Sattvic aspects. Of the Sattvic aspect, what did he create? Sattvikamshat Manaha Sambhutam. Even that mind is created Sattvic. Alas, that mind doesn't appear anywhere close to Sattvikata. Because of our maintenance issue, not because of the creator's logic. So wherever there is shoka, it is only because of moha. Now we have to understand this word moha. Moha dhatu. In further Sanskrit application, that alone becomes mudha, murkha. Why is there moha? Classic two words of Puja Gurudev. Non-apprehension of the self, thereby misapprehension of everything to be that which I am seeking, and attach myself to it. Every single movement becomes painful, miserable. And for this, don't blame that Paramatma, that Ishvara as why did he create miserable world? It is the finger with which you are touching the world, it is broken. The instrument through which you are perceiving it is broken. Thereby there is such a hammering session by the Vedantic scriptures wherein they analyze most bulk of the scripture is to reveal whatever I am identified with as not the self. When I meet the parents, one of their frustrations is cheppina mata vinaru. They don't listen to us whenever we give them instructions. In my head, though at that moment I don't say it, in my head, I have caricature mind. I cannot be serious. Like, how far will the apple fall? Genetic defect. How many times do we hear in the Vedantic satsanga, and yet we are at the same place where we started from? What should be the frustration of Shruti Mata? कितनी बार समझाऊं, वही चीज बारंबार बारंबार बारंबार, फिर भी we go back to the square one because our square is round. That is why it is called karma chakra, janma marana chakra. And in this chakra, chakkar काटते रहते हैं. The creation is beautiful, but it appears ugly. There is that शायरी, आईना साफ करता रहा पर धूल चेहरे पे था. I have been cleaning because it appears dirty. But your perception is where the problem is. When you go to an ophthalmologist, the ophthalmologist doesn't change the world for us. He changes the vision through the correct assessment of the lens required. Just as similar to the ophthalmologist who is called an eye specialist, Vedanta is also the eye specialist. Where is the problem? The problem is in this ahankara. And Kabir Das ji says, we behave like bakri, main, I, me, myself. Because of the non-apprehension, I assume everything else as self. This ajnana is the karana. I don't know how much more the scripture can be straightforward. It's very simple. Ajnana can be removed only through jnana. Therefore, the scriptures say, Jnanat evatu kaivalyam. It doesn't say Dhyanat evatu kaivalyam. Bhakti, it doesn't say kaivalyam. Karma, it doesn't say kaivalyam. Yoga, pranayama, it doesn't say kaivalyam. Where is kaivalyam? Jnanat evatu kaivalyam. And the simple understanding is darkness can be removed, ignorance can be removed only through light, only through knowledge. Sadly, that is the first shloka, almost the first shloka that we learn. Ajnana timirandhasya, every day we chant. Jnanan janashalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. In either Tell Me a Story or Parables, one of these books, Gurudev, he used to give this example very elaborately. 5-10 minutes he used to explain this. There's a group of parrots. There's a council of parrots. There is a committee meeting of the council of parrots, that in order to protect ourselves and our next generation, we have to teach them proper techniques. And the best thing that we can do is increase their awareness of their surroundings. Thereby, they can protect themselves. If in the wilderness you find an open space which looks too clean and there are grains there, don't land there. There may be the hunter that must have spread the net. You might be ensnared while trying to eat that freely given food. The next generation, because they've been hearing it right since young age, they have not just memorized it, it has risen to a status of mocking, making memes of their elders who give this lesson. So a group of next young warriors, they went out into the open, into the wilderness. While going into the wilderness, they had fun. They were repeating verbatim, in the very voice mockingly of their elders. If you go into wilderness, beta, if you see the open space cleared, and you find dhanya there, don't go. And they see the wilderness, they see the open space, they see the cleared space, they see the dhanya. While chanting all of this, they land there. And when the hunter takes them, what are they still chanting? The same mantra is being repeated. Tatakim, 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 tatakim. So what? Very second shloka that we learn when we come in to Chinmaya mission, right? First is Akhanda Mandalakara. Right next to Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Janashalakaya. That also, if you observe, after every shloka, there is a very awkward, silent pause. Why? You are waiting for somebody to start the first syllable. And when somebody starts that first syllable, after Ajnana, what is it? What is it? What is it? Guru, Guru, Brahma, Guru. Mechanically we have learned what is the meaning of it, what is the application of it. Jnana cannot be removed by any other source, any other method, any other processes. The only thing that can remove Ajnana is Jnana. And we are warned. When you step into the field of this satsanga, platform of jnana, stay focused. Why? Shabdajalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam. You start learning and everything is in Sanskritam. Now go into Sanskritam. Now Sanskritam, they will say the easier way to do is Subhashitam. And then in Subhashita, they somewhere mention about Ayurveda. Ayurvedam. I'm just taking one example. This is so much. Stay focused. And Gurudev has done an intrinsically beautiful job. He has filtered this and given it to us on a golden platter. You can take the pond to the horse, still cannot make it drink. That is what he did. He brought this beautiful lake of Jnana to our doorsteps. But for that Jnana to be grasped, there has to be Chitta Ekagrata and Chitta Shuddhi. Do your japa, Chitta Ekagrata. Do the karma, don't avoid it as though it is a burden. Perform the karma with the karma yoga attitude. Not to be recognized and shal and pushpamala, greatest karma yogi of our times. If a weekend karma done with a service attitude is not called karma yoga. When the word itself says it is weekended, it doesn't have strength in it. It is when every single activity is done with that attitude. Then when the message is heard, it directly points to that core within, without any ambiguity. It's that simple. So moha happens because of our wrong identification. Not identifying who I am and identifying with everything and anything. Therefore, if you look at the second shloka of Viveka Chudamani, there he gives us a sequence of how we have to evolve. Jantunam narajanma durlabhamataha pumsvam tato viprata. And he mentions tasmat vaidika dharma marga parata vidvatvam asmat param. The first two sentences, Golimar. Directly jump to vidvatvam. Let me conveniently read through, because they are already there translated. What about the earlier steps? Huge steps. Sequentially. The methods are very clean, very beautifully laid out. I mean, if you have the Texan wisdom, even God cannot help. So if you have a destination to reach to, there's always a possibility to get lost. Because the Texan wisdom is, I ain't lost, I'm only exploring. Karte raho. So moha is the cause for every single agitation that I have, however small, however big. So what should be my criteria? If my mind is agitated, as trivial as, Baba, there's so much of heat, so it's so hot. In summer, what else do you expect? And the thing is, we are not comfortable with any weather. Oh, it is so hot. It suddenly rains. Baba, so much of water. So much of pitch. Swamiji, this is cold season. I wish I could come to the satsang in the morning. Which climate, Baba? Which weather are you okay with? It is what it is. Take the protective measures and get along. Food, sleep, everything is an agitation. This is when body is still ably guided. There is that age when we reach, when every limb will start speaking to you. Every limb. Head, ayoyo. Neck, ayoyo. Shoulder, above. Hips, ayoyo. Digestion. Either it is gastric or bloated or acidic or something or the other. Vision, hearing, everything will start falling. Before we reach to that age, make every good use of every single second that we have. There have been Mahatmas who have said the urgency of it. काल करे सो आज कर, आज करे सो अब, पल में परलय होएगी, बहुरी करेगा कब. It's not that we are not intelligent people, but our intelligence is little vakra. We have changed even that pointer to आज करे सो काल कर, काल करे सो परसों. इतनी भी जल्दी क्या है यारों, जब जीना है बरसों. हे राम, every second, every minute is important. Where am I tuning my mind into? See, it is not that the outside interaction with the world, that is the problem. With what attitude do I guide my rajasic forces? That should be sattvic. And what is the basic criteria? If the mind is agitated, stop blaming the world for the agitation. There are only three factors affecting the serious cause of my agitation, that is, I, me, myself. Nobody else. Therefore, when somebody asks the question, how are you? The conscious answer should be awesome, the bestest. And most of the time when somebody says, how are you? Nobody is interested in the answer. Many Indians going to America, they get so enamored. People who don't even know you, they say hi to you. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? Actually, you know, and make the time नहीं है किसी के पास. It could have been, I have seen better days. म्हणजे काय? आता. Now, it is not that great. Why is it not great? Instead of understanding this, then we are facing it, taking it by the horns. Then Navagraha Shanti, Taviz, then go to Tirtha Kshetra. Baba. The solution is, if there is shoka, there is moha. Identify that which is triggering this shoka instead of pointing fingers at the prapancha. And Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji has like juiced this ganna of Shastra, and he has put it in such easy packages for us to assimilate wisdom. And we have memorized it, just like the parrots. If I say the first word, you will repeat the entire shloka for me. I mean, out of anger, don't stop it. మేము రిపీట్ చేస్తామనే కదా, దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద పాయింట్ దేర్. సత్సంగత్వే, నిస్సంగత్వే, నిర్మోహత్వే. What is the key word there? How do you reach to that nischala tattva? Nirmoha. Another angle to look at it. Whenever we are convinced that through this karma, through this interaction, I am going to gain happiness, that is called moha. Now let us look at that beautiful shloka from second chapter. Karmanye vadhikaraste. Doing karma is the only adhikara. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Do your best, leave the rest. We will have the meaning also to rust. What does it mean when that shloka says so beautifully, Ma phaleshu kadachana? Whoever, wherever, whatever kind of karma that we are doing, what are we anticipating? Isn't it that sukha? Whatever be the phala, isn't it sukha? Ma phaleshu kadachana. Sukha is not directly or indirectly a result of karma. But what is the conviction with which we go outside? Satsang done, अभी जाके ना मजा करूंगा. मजा कहाँ? Wherever is your moving goalpost. One done, next done, next done. As soon as this is done, it is must अदरक वाली चाय, मजा ही मजा. साथ में दो डुबाने के लिए. अरे ऐसा वैसा बिस्कुट नहीं, हैदराबादी हो आप, उस्मानिया बिस्कुट. उसके बाद crunchy from the outside, soft in the inside, dosa. नहीं, चाय हो गया साहब. अब उस चाय के बाद ब्रेकफास्ट. Moving goalpost. The attitude is, my sukha is elsewhere, my sukha is out there. That is the very moha. And as Gurudev puts it, we give appointment to the wrong place, wrong time. Therefore, we deserve to be disappointed. Even if we realize that my effort that I am putting is for exhausting the existing vasanas in the form of my prarabdha. Do it consciously. That is the only purpose of this karma. Nothing else. Joys happen, enjoy it, don't cling to it. Because sukha is not there out in the world. It is not there in things, it is not there in beings, it is not there in situations, it is not there in any place. If that mindset, that conviction is changed, but we are like so insecure. That is the only place I have some joy. That also you take away. It is like the energy drink syndrome. At that moment when you take the energy drink, it feels like you have a spike of energy. As soon as that energy is dispensed, you crash. As soon as that bhoga is done, there is some kind of roga. Shoka is nothing but roga. And why am I doing it? Because I am convinced. Why are you happy? Because I met you. हो फिदा हो गए. दिल बहलाने के लिए है सब. If we can change that without becoming bitter, that's why they say Chedunism. Nism is not Chedu. Truth is liberating. Truth is not bitter. My attachments, when they are ripped, it appears bitter. Why am I attached? I am clinging on, attached to it because I am thinking I can squeeze some more joy out of it. Sukha is outside, is the Vyamoha. In Sadhana Panchakam, again the pointer, Kshut Vyadhischa Chikitsyatam Pratidinam Bhikshaushadam Bhujyatam. And how do we trivialize that entire statement? He was a sannyasi and he was speaking to sannyasis. Therefore, don't take it seriously. Kshut is a vyadi. Kshut meaning hunger. And bhojanam, aushadam bhujyatam. It is like a medicine. You don't take Benadryl because it will... I like. It is not because whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, take it in regular intervals so that you are ushered back to health. And what is health called in Sanskritam? Swasthiti, swasthya. Going back to your original state of being. And their food, he is not talking about just the food as the Madhya Pradesh filling agency. Food for every single organ of perception action. That which is required, you take and it's done because it has to fulfill at that particular point and move on. Without a sense of craving or missing. Why? My sukha is not there in it. Even if we can deliberately emphasize this particular aspect or concept vehemently into our understanding, the sense of freedom, the sense of independence that which we can experience is immeasurable. हमसे है जमाना सारा, हम जमाने से है नहीं. That should be the attitude. Then we have another Vakra logic. If I am already happy, because now I am doing all that which I am doing so that I can be happy. If I am already happy, then why would I put an effort? Vakra logic. Vakra meaning teda. Twisted logic. Why is it a twisted logic? Whenever somebody is happy, even at a materialistic level, do we ever sit in one gloomy, dark corner? Why are you like that? I am happy. No. Even if it is a slight happiness, you want to go share that happiness with everyone. And the experience has been, the more I share, the more I enjoy. Revel in it. The person who is happy, do you think they are going to sit in a gloomy corner? मुझे मेरे हाल पे छोड़ दो. Do you think they are going to? No. They will be the most thriving, most absorbed in sharing that joy to everyone. It is from that standpoint that Gurudev said the motto of the mission should be to give maximum happiness to the maximum people for the maximum time. If I can add one more sentence there, in the sure short way, because there is no other method other than this. Nanya pantha vidyateya naya. Rest of us have a hidden agenda. How, where, when can I eke that happiness from outside? This person doesn't have that hidden agenda. I already have it that it is immensely overflowing. जिसको जितना चाहिए लो. There is a huge difference from the attitude of trying to work for happiness and work with happiness. How much sense of independence that I do not, or my existence, my happiness is not a dependable variable on these different layers of matter. One change that we have to make, the moha that we have, the delusional conclusions that we have, is my sukha is out there. The quicker we get out of that delusion, again, put Shastra aside, does my own experience not be a valid proof? तुम आए तो बाहर आया. Initial stages. तुम आए तो बाहर आया. Oh, I can't live without you. Pretty soon, I can't live in the very space that you are in. Give me some room, give me some space, give me some elbow movement. What is all this screaming? That which you invested in thinking can give the sense of joy, security, peace, happiness, is no more giving it. Nothing in the world can ever give. But we have designed our life in such a way that from morning, the time we wake up to the time that we sleep, not having this happiness as the experience, not having the confidence that I am the very source of that happiness, how do I design my life? Everything that I crave for, I start arranging everything, and at the end of the day, how was your day? Mostly good, meaning it went according to my cravings. And when it doesn't, sad day. I don't know, my life has become depressive. It is me who is unnecessarily anticipating from something which cannot give happiness. I am beating the pulp out of it, expecting, anticipating happiness. Ramakrishna Paramahansa ji used to give an example for this sad state of our mind's behavior. When the dog bites into that dry bone, it pierces into its own gums. Though it is hurting, but still it feels there is some rasa in it. Where is it apadita? Where is it attributing it to? It is attributing it to that piece of bone. Where is the actual rasa coming from? From the wounded abscess. Our mind's condition is also the same. That we go poke ourselves with the outside worldly things, मजा आ रहा है. And then the repercussions of it are very heavy. And yet we don't wake up to the truth. Therefore, when the mantra says pariksha lokan karmachitan nasti akritaha kritena, the pariksha is not done, the investigation is not done consciously. Who is actually having the arahata, the qualifications for shastra vichara? The one who is not anymore distracted by the world. Whether it is there or not there doesn't matter. Why? I have been there, done that, seen it. It cannot give me that which I am searching. Once I am understood, do you think I will be running after that world and the worldly things? And to avoid them, go to some seclusion? Not required. Why? I have already seen. It cannot give me that which I am seeking. Tatra komohaha kashokaha. Thus, with absolute vairagya, when I stand firm, that individual alone, ekatvam anupashyataha, sees that oneness in and through the multitude as the very self within. Om swasti prajno सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ